it is fucked. This. Dude, we could watch these videos. I love Slush. I think he's fantastic at what he does.
What's the first thing that comes to your mind when I say Twitch? Maybe your answer is in line with how Twitch describes themselves. A live stream platform
Horse!
for gamers and the things they love. Or maybe you've seen the Just Chatting section.
Oh shit, he's shitting on Train. Look at this. Get paid to watch TV shows. Hey, well, I mean, Train, not that he wanted to, but he had to stop.
Somehow, over the last few years, Twitch as a platform has gotten progressively more questionable in what has become acceptable content from its streamers. And it's no secret that the origin of this shift has been the website. Its transition away from being an exclusively gaming-related platform. On one hand, that decision has led to some...
Me personally, dude, with like the Train bullshit, I just find it comical how fucking terrible he is when he does this shit. Like, it's just funny. Like, just seeing him walk away for 5 to 10 minutes and just like, it's just funny. I don't think anyone really cares. His viewers don't care. It's like, this is so fucking stupid that you just walk away for 10 minutes. It's just dumb.
Amazing content, but it's also the reason that the worst section of Twitch exists today. I believe that to fully appreciate why Just Chatting has become so god-awful, you need to understand how the section came to be in the first place, and why it has the potential to be so much better than it currently is. But it's a little bit more complicated than just that, so let's take a trip back to the beginning and start with the rise and fall of IRL.
Yeah, wait, he didn't play the clip. We're now going from shitting on Alinity to shitting on SD Peach. He probably had Alinity clips in there, and then like last second since this happened, he probably switched them out.
Back in the day, Twitch was exclusively a gaming live stream platform, so much so that they even had a minimum gameplay quota that all streams had to adhere to.
True.
Which basically meant that every time somebody streamed on Twitch, they had to make sure that the vast majority of their stream was actual gameplay. And that's pretty much how things operated on the website for years. Because of that, streamers were limited in what they could do. The gameplay quota tied them down, leaving little room for anything else. That is, of course, until October 28, 2015. That's when the website made its first foray into non-gaming live streams with the introduction of the creative section.
Which there was nothing wrong with it.
It made a big splash upon release. However, the hype was only temporary, as the vast majority of popular streamers quickly went back to their usual routines once the novelty wore off. But then something else
Why would he use a clip of Mitch and say usual routines?
happened that nobody could have predicted. In the summer of 2016, a new game was released that would permanently change Twitch forever. And that game was Pokemon
Go, baby.
The Pokemon Go phenomenon has spread right across the globe.
The worldwide craze and mobile game with Pokemon Go to the polls.
Now, I've talked about this before in my Wreckful documentary, but Pokemon Go was a worldwide sensation, and of course, when a new game is popular, people want to see their favorite streamers playing it. But what made the game so unique for Twitch was that in order to play it, you had to be outside. So for pretty much the first time ever, streamers could dedicate an entire stream to being out and about in real life as opposed to being cooped up in their rooms at their desks. For longtime viewers of Twitch, this was incredibly exciting. This was the first chance to see what their favorite streamers were like in the real world, interacting with real people.
You're all Team Valor? Oh, I'm on Team Instinct, so I got a Team Instinct. No, fuck every other team. I don't care. What? What are you saying?
It was unlike anything the viewers had seen before on the platform, and every big streamer was joining in on the fun. Now, I think this goes without saying, but these were effectively IRL streams before IRL was even a thing on Twitch. It shared all of...
They were godlike, dude. They were godlike, these Dude, these Pokemon Go streams were godlike from every creator. You know why? There's multiple reasons. It was... IRL streaming was brand new to the platform. It was brand new. It was brand new. It wasn't something that we had for years. It wasn't something that everyone went to Japan and did their thing and la-di-da. It was brand new. And seeing streamers outside was a mind fuck. It was, as a viewer, it was a mind fuck. You know, the only time you saw streamers outside was when Chance got $10,000 to go outside and throw up in his pool. You didn't see streamers do things outside. you know, you saw everyone was always inside doing things. And to see this live was crazy.
The same
it was
that
insane.
Would eventually become commonplace with the section, including the swatting of its streamers.
You want me to just keep going this way?
I remember this.
Maybe we are gonna have guns pointed at us. That's not good.
Meanwhile, the desire for non-gaming streams had slowly been growing elsewhere on the platform with the introduction of social eating. It was something that started off as a loophole in the Twitch terms of service. Streamers were able to bypass a portion of their minimum gameplay quota if they spent that time eating food.
That's so weird. It's like prison.
Meals in order to buy themselves more time. Twitch recognized the growing popularity of this and eventually decided to create the social eating section, where streamers could sit down with a meal and just chat with their audience. Both the social eating section and Pokemon Go streams gave viewers a taste for non-gaming content on Twitch, and eventually that culminated in the company creating a dedicated section on the website that specifically catered to that type of content. On December 15, 2016, Twitch would officially open up the IRL category, and with it, all hell would break loose.
What the fuck?
Okay, maybe not all hell, but the point is that the IRL category made for some of the craziest boundary-pushing content that the platform had ever seen. Streamers like Wreckful, Greek God X, and Andy Milanakis were all regularly having fun outdoor adventures as they streamed in the IRL
Holy
section.
shit, that's badass!
The definitive king of the category was none other than Ice Poseidon. Ice was an agent of chaos on Twitch, and his career is so closely tied to the history of IRL that they may as well be one and the same. Ice was a RuneScape streamer. He was notorious for being an in-game troll and pretty terrible at the game itself. But what kept people coming back was his off-the-wall, edgy, act like an idiot personality.
That was it.
Which is why when Pokemon Go was first released, Ice was the most popular streamer in the section by far. His insane personality made the streams incredibly fun.
Tyler 1 and Ice collabs were so good back in the day, man. I love them.
To watch. Instead of trolling people and acting crazy in-game, he was trolling people in real life with seemingly no discretion. And things only got crazier when IRL was officially announced. He had moments of normalcy, but he would frequently get into trouble with the people around him. He would get himself kicked out of stores and restaurants and even sidewalks.
Yeah, if you're on this block again, you're gonna be in a lot of trouble, you hear me? These people are calling saying horrible things.
Okay.
Referring to you. You're gonna have
I know.
Stop it. You're gonna have a very big problem if you're seen on this block one more time. I'm the boss of this fucking block. I will get you fucked up on camera.
The boss.
You'll not be able to live stream ever again.
All right, sorry, dude.
He tried to pick up girls, he would pull out all sorts of crazy stunts, and he was overall a total nuisance. But that was what made him so much fun to watch. The dude was batshit crazy, and it was extremely entertaining. He gave his viewers a taste of a lifestyle that most of them would never experience. Always meeting new people, hanging out at bars, and doing his best to live it up on stream. Various stream snipers would find him and become a part of his crew, as if they were new characters on a TV show and each stream was a new episode. But there was a consequence to finding fame through being an edgy troll. The community that he cultivated would become notorious for being one of the most toxic communities on the platform. They would do anything they could to mess with Ice. Anywhere from swatting him to getting him kicked out of establishments with prank calls and so much more.
Yo, what are you doing, bro?
This shit was so bad. Oh my god.
Dude, what the fuck are you doing, dog? What the fuck? Bro, what the fuck? Bro, oh my god, I'm dying.
I think it's worth mentioning that even though Ice was wild and edgy, he was never anywhere near as negative as some of his fan base grew to be. But as insane as his streams could be or toxic his fan base was, he was innovative and pushed the boundaries of what people expected from content on Twitch. And that's the kind of thing that gave the IRL section such universal appeal. Because like with any genre, people take inspiration from those that are most successful.
Dude, where's the part with Mitch and Trade? I loved Mitch and Trade IRL streams.
The other popular streamers doing IRL all tried to match that same level of excitement with their streams. And in my personal opinion, some of the biggest streamers on Twitch were putting out their best content in the era of IRL.
Oh, for sure.
Something special about these personalities out in the real world. It was less predictable and felt more like an adventure. And there was this inherent risky quality to the streams because of the unpredictable nature of being out in the real world. There were numerous cases of something happening that was beyond the streamer's control. And in some of those cases, Twitch would reprimand the streamer even though they didn't do anything wrong. But Twitch's terrible policies aside, there was one notable problem that seemed to stem from the IRL section. The same flaws that permeated through ICE's streams were also becoming increasingly prevalent throughout the entire website. The overall state of popular Twitch communities arguably peaked in toxicity when ICE, Poseidon, and IRL peaked in popularity. The viewers watching were a reflection of the content at the time, and for better or for worse, that meant that there was more of an edgy culture surrounding Twitch than there is today. And I'm not trying to say that ICE or the IRL section are exclusively responsible for toxic communities on Twitch, just more so that they contributed to the prevalence of it. Meanwhile, there was also a new development on the completely opposite side of the IRL spectrum. With the introduction of a category that didn't require gameplay, Twitch began to see a major influx in what is most easily described as safe for work cam girls. You know, the kind that build their careers off of an audience of horny and lonely men. These streamers were also pushing boundaries, but in a completely different way. They dressed in a provocative and sexual manner.
No, what? No. Okay, the only thing these girls pushed up was their bras, all right? No way were they pushing any boundaries of anything.
And abused loopholes to get donations and subscriptions for showing off their bodies. The IRL category on Twitch was littered with these kinds of broadcasters, and they stood in stark contrast to their—
Why did the second this started to happen, my view count went up 1,000 viewers? Why? Why did the second he started talking about this shit, you guys are just coomers at heart, dude.
Peers of the same section. While one kind of streamer was going out and investing all of their efforts in making the stream entertaining, the other was sitting at home and investing all of their efforts in making themselves appear sexy. However, entertainment is subjective, and these girls definitely have their audience. Even though many viewers were against it, these cam girl style streamers never really managed to reach the same levels of viewership as the other big streamers in the IRL category. But those bigger streamers rarely do IRL style streams today, and there's a reason for that. Twitch was becoming increasingly aware of the problematic communities on their platform and the reputation they were getting by being associated with streamers like
TTD,
ICE.
baby.
And so when ICE one day leaked his flight information on stream, which led to false bomb threats being called on his plane and the whole ordeal making national news, they permanently banned him from the platform. That was on April 28, 2017, and it was the beginning of the end of IRL.
Fun fact, on that specific same day, Greek went live for the first time. Coincidence? No.
Twitch began to tighten up their community guidelines in order to prevent other streamers from becoming the next ICE Poseidon, which slowly discouraged big streamers from continuing to do these kinds of streams, which required a ton of effort to execute in the first place anyways. So over time, the large personalities began shifting back towards staying at home. Eventually, Twitch decided it was time to make a distinction between the two types of IRL streams, and in September of 2018, they split the section into two: travel and outdoors, and just chatting.
This was one of the dumbest things Twitch did. It was so fucking dumb. I don't know what they were thinking doing this, but it absolutely destroyed traveling and outdoors. It was so stupid.
And so just like that, the IRL section was no more. So now that we've covered the rise and fall of IRL, let's talk about the major problems of the just chatting section.
Uh-oh.
It's no secret that reaction-based content is incredibly popular.
But do people see why that IRL streaming became less, people do it less nowadays? There's there's a lot of reasons. There's a lot of reasons why people do IRL streaming now. One, Corona. But before Corona, the reason why people didn't do IRL streamings as much is because it got boring. It's not as interesting to do IRL streaming when it's been done a billion times. Going to Japan is exciting, but people have been doing IRL streaming. IRL streaming is not new. Back then, IRL streaming was brand new, and it was exciting. Another thing that, and I'm not saying not doing IRL streams. I like doing IRL streams once in a while. Another reason why a lot of streamers will not do IRL streams, there's no money in it. And that is a very true statement. The reason why a lot of streamers don't do IRL is because they don't feel there's a lot of money in it. You make 20 times more money. Oh, you're going to tell me true or false, chat? You make 20 times more money doing desktop streams than you do doing IRL. Ask a Twitch streamer how many subs they get when they do an IRL compared to how many they do doing a desktop. You get way more. Oh, really? Think. $3 TTS, really? Do you know how that goes in the real world? That's called getting permabanned if you do $3 TTS the way you guys are saying it. ICE did it, $3 TTS getting permabanned. If you're thinking in terms of Twitch nowadays, you cannot do that. You cannot harass. It is very difficult. Another reason why people don't do IRL streaming as much, you burn out. I don't know one IRL streamer that hasn't burnt out. It is very stressful. It is hard to do something new like that every single day. It is very, very difficult. It's hard, man. When desktop streaming is a lot more easy, it's a lot more free. The only good IRL streamer I know that does it every single day is Amaranth. She's the only one I know that's really pushing the bar of entertainment and constantly growing her stream and,
popular. We see it on YouTube, we see it on Twitch, and in general, it's only natural that people would want to see the reactions and opinions of their favorite content creators. But there's reacting to content in a way that's transformative, where the focus is on the person reacting, and then there's just straight up watching copyright content. Now, to clarify, I think there's a big difference between streamers watching YouTubers and streamers watching TV shows. Because of the nature of YouTube, most content creators won't mind if their video is shown on somebody else's stream.
And another thing too, I do think Nim, a lot of people call him a React Andy, and to a sense he is, but Nim has a very creative stream, and he does a lot of good shit, and he is very creative, and so I think that Nim is a great content creator. I do.
It can give their video exposure, and
and then there's Hassan.
It's a somewhat symbiotic relationship between the streamer and the video maker. The streamer gets to kill X amount of time while entertaining their viewers, and the YouTuber gets exposure. It's a win-win.
Dude, hey, Slush, what are you doing, dude? Shit. Hey, he's not wrong. I mean, this is how I started. As much as people say, oh, Miz, you were made by blah, 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 blah. No. I got made by all of these streamers because I yoinked their content, which then I would make a video and then I would just put blank reacts to blank. Boom, boom, boom. I did it for every streamer. It was 2 videos in one every time.
Sure, there might be YouTubers who are not okay with it, but in general, most won't mind, myself included. For this reason, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world when a streamer reacts to a few YouTube videos. But if they spend multiple hours watching
shitting on Train so much,
then it gets to be more of a problem. You don't want to be a reaction Andy. A Twitch streamer is supposed to be a content creator, and their viewers should be there for them. So when a viewer starts watching a stream just because they want to watch what the streamer is watching, the lines between content creation and rebroadcasting get blurred.
I totally disagree with that because I think that people watch me watch videos not because of the video only. They're watching it because I am also there giving commentary, saying stupid stuff. People don't just watch this video I don't get viewers because I'm watching a video. I'm getting viewers because I'm there watching a video commentating. Same thing goes with a video game for me. It's the same thing. People watch me play games because I'm watching it. And it's the same thing when people play a game. They're playing a game and people are watching it because they're watching it and watching play a game. Does anyone have any Advil? Oh, my head.
Go back to doing IRL. Your best content was when you were holding a camera and didn't talk.
Well, Power King, I'm on it, man.
But this problem becomes an entirely different beast when that streamer is reacting to TV shows
6
or
more
movies.
months.
At any given time on Twitch, a simple scroll through the Just Chatting section will reveal streamers reacting to full episodes of TV shows with pretty much no transformative content involved. One of the most egregious examples of this that I can think of is the streamer Trainwreckstv, who will stream himself watching back-to-back episodes of shows like South Park or MasterChef. What makes this so insane to me is that on YouTube there has been a community-wide
Dude, please link this to Train later. Please link this to Train later and be like, dude, this guy loves your streams so much. Just lie to him. And be like, dude, Train, this guy loves your streams, man. He loves your streams. He really enjoys your stuff. And just link him this.
A crusade against this exact type of content for years. To put it into perspective, in 2020, a certain YouTuber got into a lot of hot water for doing this exact same thing. The YouTuber Suzy Lou built an audience off of doing reaction videos to full episodes of various animes such as Naruto. And when YouTube's commentary community became aware of this, it turned into a giant scandal. Her Patreon was removed, she was threatened with litigation, and many videos on her channel were outright deleted.
Oh,
yet
shit.
This exact same behavior
Train, watch out for your OnlyFans.
with tens of thousands of viewers watching every single day in Just Chatting, and nobody is saying anything about it. And it's not like these streamers are simply unaware that it's wrong to do this. Twitch's community guidelines explicitly state that this is not allowed on the platform. Yet, whenever someone brings attention to these unlawful actions, they simply delete the VODs to try and hide the evidence. Now, to be fair, most big streamers are good at keeping this to a minimum, including many of the ones I've shown. But at the end of the day, nobody should ever have Dave Chappelle entertaining their stream while they're not even on camera.
Oh shit, dude, he's going in on all my friends.
I think that a big reason why viewers are okay with this kind of content is because they want someone to watch things with. Because watching a TV show with your friend is way better than watching it by yourself. And for many viewers, they're filling that role with a streamer. And I
do feel that a lot of reasons why people watch specifically Twitch streamers like myself or watch it's not just me watching it, it's also the chat. People love the chat interaction. They love the feeling, and I do too. I love the feeling of seeing the chat all talk together, all agree on something, all laugh together. It's fun to watch with a community and a stream. It just is. It's a very, very fun time. It's a very fun time.
That dynamic of viewers seeking relationships through streamers is what led to the next biggest problem I have with the Just Chatting section. Now, as I mentioned before, with the rise of IRL came female streamers who no longer needed to play video games in order to make a living off of sex appeal. But why exactly is this problematic? Well, for starters, it's not because of its connections to sex work. Personally, I think that if people want to do anything related to sex work, then that's absolutely fine. More power to them. But the problem is how this behavior on Twitch affects the other streamers and the platform itself. As Just Chatting has grown in popularity, more women are learning that they can potentially make a living off of being an attractive streamer or providing a simulated girlfriend experience. And in turn, there has been a growing population of users that have come to Twitch specifically to interact with these girls. Now, from a surface level, this seems pretty innocuous. The men are here for these girls, the girl are here for these men, and everything works out. But the problem starts to occur when these men begin to assume that every female streamer on the platform is there to provide sex appeal for them or simulate being their girlfriend.
Rub mustard on my what?
And in the big picture, how the notoriety of these kinds of streamers affects the public.
You know what this girl's name is, chat? I found out a couple days ago. This girl, wait.
Rub mustard on my what?
And in the big
her name is Mizzy. Her name is Mizzy. Fuck.
Picture how the notoriety of these kinds of streamers affects the public perception of
the better Miz.
Platform.
A lot of people, especially men, are coming into my stream asking, why can't I do stuff like that? Or let me see your titties, all that kind of stuff, where it wasn't like that before, but it's definitely gone uphill because they're going around every sort of section of Twitch looking for it, where
dude, it's been like that since the beginning of Twitch. Go on any dude, there's been coomers, there's been people who have Craigasmed and have always wanted tits. Dude, watch old Wreckful Mitch videos when you see a girl come on stream. They Craigasm, they always say that tits. They're like, fuck yeah, let's go, boobs. Do Casey Tron. It's always been like that. To say that it's on the rise, no. Guys are just fucking coomers. Guys are just horny fucks. They're pigs. They're pigs.
Whether they want to see me play a game, they also want to see more. So that does suck. And it's been 7 years since I started streaming, and it's definitely gotten a lot more out of hand. It's essentially softcore porn, depending how intense it is, I guess. Sometimes people just want the girlfriend experience. They want to talk to these girls. Definitely if I'm streaming in the just chatting section, it's constant comments like that, because it's usually people coming into that section looking for girls, and they'll see me, and then I think they come in expecting something more like, ah.
These streamers are often fundamentally different than everyone else on Twitch.
Mamacita,
where most streamers are looking to build a personality or gameplay-driven community.
Respect.
The cam girl style streamers are mainly trying to build up an audience for adult content. They have OnlyFans accounts and premium Snapchats that they link to wherever they can. And again, in a vacuum, this would not necessarily be bad. But the problem is that by being in the just chatting section, this type of
You got this girl, this girl, this girl, and Wes. Oof,
content gets mixed in with regular streams.
That's pretty much the whole Claw show right there.
Which makes it an unavoidable part of Twitch, as just chatting is the biggest section on the platform. And yet Twitch does their best to avoid acknowledging this, because doing so would compromise their reputation and advertiser relationships.
True.
Just imagine if Twitch created a category specifically for these kinds of streamers. By doing so, they would effectively be inviting more pseudo-adult content to the platform, and that would probably have a negative effect for the platform overall. And these overtly sexual streamers and the people infringing on copyright are just two of the biggest problems that I personally have with just chatting. But there is more to just chatting than these flaws I've been pointing out. These negatives exist.
Bro!
And they do cover the section, but underneath them is an entirely different world. A world of positive content that is able to thrive
Dito, what do we say? We say thank you. What do we say? We say thank you, dude. Agreed. Positive content. He is right. He's right. You know what this clip is? This is a pretty bad clip.
Can you please try watching this video? It's really
because of just chatting. And I think the best example of that comes from one of the most respected streamers on the platform, Dr. K.
So I treat people with depression.
Damn it.
And sometimes what happens is I treat them for a while and they come into my office and they say like, okay, so I'll like assess them for depression. I'll be like, are you getting out of bed every day? Are you able to do this? Are you able to concentrate? Are you able to go to work? And they'll say, yeah, but I'm still depressed. And then I tell them, well, actually, like, I don't think you're clinically depressed. Now you're just unhappy. And there's a difference between clinical depression and unhappiness or a life without purpose.
For those who don't already know, Dr. K is a Harvard psychiatrist that is best known for his discussions with other people, usually large streamers. He offers them life advice through conversation and shares his knowledge about psychology, meditation, and Eastern philosophy. And the effect he's had on the Twitch community has been incredible. He has helped the people who watch him and the people who speak to him tremendously, and he does this through nothing more than conversation. Everyone that is around him benefits from what he does, and he has become akin to something of a shining light on the platform. But
it's okay,
here's the thing, his streams only came to be because of the rise of just chatting. While he could have technically started in the days of IRL, it was the just chatting section that brought widespread awareness to streams where the broadcaster could just talk the whole time. And at the end of the day, that's exactly what Dr. K does. His presence on Twitch alone fills me with hope for the potential of the just chatting section. And he's not alone as an example of positive content. The best streams in the section can make you feel like you're hanging out with the streamer and their friends, getting a slice of their life and a peek into intimate moments, which is exemplified by moments like this.
And I want to know if you would marry me.
Really?
Fuck.
Yeah.
You're doing it on stream.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But great just chatting content can also be streams that entertain you because the person doing it is genuinely entertaining or creative. It can blow your mind because you're watching an educational stream and learning something new. And in some ways, I feel like these examples capture a piece of what made the IRL section so great in the first place. They give you an insight into the streamer's...
What the fuck was that?
Piece of what made the IRL section so great in the first place. They give you an insight into the streamer's life and allow you to experience something that you otherwise wouldn't have. IRL was probably the peak of toxicity on Twitch. It was simultaneously great and terrible all at the same time. But now, as its successor, Just Chatting is in a similar position. It contains some of the worst of what Twitch has to offer and some of the best. On one hand, the section is rampant with copyright abuse and streams that are just barely not considered adult content. But on the other hand, you have channels like Dr. K and streams that are genuinely entertaining, educational, or even wholesome. And I think that puts Twitch at something of a crossroads. There is greatness scattered throughout the Just Chatting section, but right now it is at all times obscured by tons of cam girls and people reacting to copyright material. It makes the gems harder to find, and it sends newer streamers the wrong message. The message that watching TV shows for hours on end or dedicating their streams to showing off their bodies is not only okay.
Dude, who the hell has the rights to anime and why don't I have it? I want to watch anime on stream.
Hey, but it's the meta in which they should tailor their streams to. And all the while, it hinders the positive aspects of the section from truly flourishing, leaving Twitch with a weaker public perception that could discourage more
large-breasted thoughts. A company that cares more about thoughts than the gamers who built it. Oh, dude, if that's what you think about Twitch, you've been on here way too long.
Positive content from starting up in the first place. IRL was the start of something incredible. And now Just Chatting has the chance to take the platform in amazing new directions. But for that to happen, we have to move away from the negative content that is weighing it down. So the next time you see a small streamer in the Just Chatting section doing something unique or interesting, give them a click and see what you just might discover.
Dude, I don't think the Just Chatting section is that bad. I don't. I just don't. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I do think that a lot of creativity is taken away by the IRL section. I would say that.
If titty streamers are selling girl